the slave trade commenced. Now the Africans were smart enough to know if we sell all our people into slavery, we'll have no country and we'll be overthrown by everybody else. So what they did was sort of an ethnic cleansing.
Mm-hmm.
They took the remnants of the Hebrew Israelites, put them on cargo ships, and shipped us to the Americas.
Mm-hmm.
So now when we arrived at the Americas, our slave masters looked at us like we were African. If you go into many places in the South, many of the cities and areas are named after African countries like Angola and different places. But what they don't tell you is that if you, and again, anybody can chime in anytime y'all ready, what they don't tell you is that if you go back to Africa, places like Ghana and stuff, you find areas that were named after Hebrew Israelites. Like Fort Juliet, there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. At one point, they called north of New Guinea, they called it Negro land.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why is because, now that was the Europeans that gave them that name, but the reason they did that was because this was a specific people in this area that were being sold.
Yes,
those people are the Hebrew Israelites.
I love it.
And here's the sad part, if I could, like this is why it's partially controversial.
No,
Because we've been so stripped of our identity in such a brutal way that we are trying so hard to sincerely get our identity back that we are offended when somebody says we're not African, when in fact we're not. You know what I mean? In fact, we have a far richer and far broader culture, and we got to find our identity to get it all back. There's areas in Western Africa called Fort Judah, which is straight out of the tribe of Judah. There are other areas like that where the African nation got together and turned us into a commodity and sold us. Very little known. It's very little known also how much the Arab world had to do with our slave trade. A lot of times we blame white America for and white Europeans for the slave trade, which is right and true. But we don't always blame the Arab world. Instead, we embrace the Arab world and embrace the Arab religions when they were just as culpable in our transatlantic slave trade as was the Europeans. If we're going to be fair. So
let's go to that next image on the bottom. No. Go back up. Right here, Afro Latino. I just want to. We saw this one right here. What you're looking at right here.
This is special, and I'll tell you why. What's so special about this is our people, again, since we were in West Africa, took on a lot of the culture and the doctrine of West Africa. But we still also held on to our original Hebrew Israelite culture. If you look at these garments closely, there go your feathers, there go your fringes, there go your long dresses, there goes your dance, and African culture is a little mixed in it. It's kind of like us today. We're black, but we wear suits and ties. You know what I mean, right? It's kind of like we hold it on to us, but then we take it on a little of their culture. It's just what naturally happens. We speak English, right? Go ahead, you was gonna say something? We speak English. We have the culture of where we are, but we also hold on to us. Like we still brought our music back in every aspect of it, jazz, R&B, but we still conform to today's society. And this is what we're looking at here. Our Latinos, brothers and sisters, are also descendants of a black race of Hebrew Israelites.
So I just wanted to, let us know. I mean, don't believe all of the hype. You know what I'm saying? The traditions that we keep and the culture that we find in America that we think is from Africa, if you examine the Bible, sometimes you can see that we've been doing this. I'm going to share Exodus 15 and 20. It says, and Miriam the prophetess, the sister of Aaron, took a timbrel in her hand, which is a drum. And all the women went out after her with timbrels and with dances. You understand? Those dance companies that they claim were so, this is African, you know what I'm saying? We've been doing this, you understand? And it's in our culture, we taking it back.
There it is. Yes. Anybody want to add anything else? Hey, I'm trying to highlight on the Afro-Latina thing, even that's division though. Because if all Latinas, if they're ethnically Latin, ethnically related to us, they are. They put the Afro because the colorism is what we're looking for. So we won't accept a light-skinned looking, we damn near won't accept a light-skinned looking black man. And so when it comes to our Hispanic brothers and sisters, they have to be Afro-Latino to be considered one of us. Whereas in the Israelite school of UPK, we would use the term Afro-Latino. We would just say Latino. We would say, that's why we say so-called Hispanic. Understood. But in the normal environment, when I grew up, I was called a white boy because I'm light-skinned. That was like my brother right here goes through the same thing. I'm not going to call him Afro-Latino. Right. I'm not going to call him that. So what I want the listening audience to understand, what we also do in IHBK is we dispel colorism. Everything about our history is predicated on you have to look a certain melanin way. Even the terminology of us being all African is because of our skin tone. Understood. But nobody says the East Indians are black. Nobody says the Arabs are black. Nobody says Hawaiian is black. We know how to differentiate them. But when it comes to us, they just throw us into that big old continent within 50 countries, Commander General Howland was talking about the subsidiaries within those countries, and then tell you to go find yourself in a continent, which is impossible. So I just wanted to add that too.
Shalom, Israel. ISUPK, Northern California. About to get this Sabbath service started. I'm saying, big up to the Most High for waking our brothers and sisters today and getting them going on their way to and fro throughout these different lands and different states and whatnot. Brothers out in the UPK, ISUPK, and the Commander Jerry Hanna is out here putting in work, you understand? Giving up our day of rest to come out and teach blacks, Hispanics, and so-called Native Indians that they are the children of Israel, the 12 lost tribes. Yasharala, you understand? So with that being said, I'll call it Majim. Yasharala. Salaki. We get into the Lord's Prayer. We say Sar, which means turn and face the east. Upon Hakodam, Salaki. The Lord's Prayer. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakaka, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Barataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashemaya, Nathanlanawa, Lakum, Cal, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kawawaknawa, Kasalaknawa, Kawawakinawa, Wala'a, Dabayanawa, Banasarawan, Abal, Hawashayanawa, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Malakwa, Wahala, Watapara, La'ai Walamyan. Amen. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. So be it. I'm going to go to Psalms 121. Asha'a, Ayanya, Ahahariam, Mayan, Yaba'a, Azoria, Ma'aim, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Waharataza, Al Yathan, Lamawat, Regalka, Al Yanawam, Shemarka, Hana, La'a, Yanawam, Wala'a, Yayashan, Shawamor, Yasharala, Yahweh, Shemarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Aryad, Yanyaka, Yawamam, Hashemash, La'a, Yakaka, Wayarak, Bayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makara, Yashamar, Afnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tazaaka, Wabwaaka, Ma'atha, Wa'ai Walamim. In the English, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from which cometh my help cometh from the power, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The power is thy keeper. The power is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The power shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The power shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. I'm going to do Psalms 83. Alahayim, al damayalaka, al dakarash, wa all dashakwat, all kayahana, awayabika, Yahamaya 1, Ra'ash, Al Ivaka, Ya'arayawam, Ya'arayamwa, Sabada, Wayata, Ya'aitizawa, Al Tazapa 1, Yaka, Amara, Lakawa, Wanakakina, Magalia, Wala Yazakar, Shem Yasharala, Awada, Kaya, Na'aitizawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Al Yakad, Bayarak, Yakarakwa, Ahalia, Alawam, Wayashama, Alayam, Mawa'aba, Wahagarium, Gabal, Wa'amawan, Wa'amalak, Palashaf, Yashabia, Tazawar, Gamashawar, Nalawa, Imam, Hayawa, Zerawai, Labanyalawat, Salah, Ashalaham, Kamadyan, Kasaya Sara'ah, Kayabyan, Banaka'ah, Koyashwan, Nashamadwa, Bayanda Ara, Hayawa, Daman, La'arama, Shayatamwa, Nariyamawa, Kara, Wakazabak, Wakazatal, Mana'ai, Kal Nasaya Kamwa, Ashar, Amarat, Amarwas, Nayashara, Nayarashas, Nawa, Af, Nawaf, Alahayim, Alahaya, Shayatamwa, Kagalula, Kakwash, Lapanya Rawaka, Kaash, Tabia Ira, Wakala Abba, Talahat, Harayam, Khan, Teradatma, Basa Arika, Wabasa, Wapaka, Tabahalam, Mala'a, Teradatma, Basa Arika, Wabasa, Wapaka, Tabaham, Mala'a, damn, Salaki, Panyaham, Kwalawan, Wayabakwashwa, Shimka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Wayabahawa, Ayai, Wayakaparwa, Waya Abadwa, Waya Daiwa, Kaya Ataha, Shimka, Yahawa, Labaka, Al Yawan, Al Kaha Arataza. In the English, keep not thy silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulting against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gebal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Asher also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah, do unto them, as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like a red, and like Zaed. Yea, all their princes as Zabah, and as Zalmunna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. O my power, make them like a wheel, as a stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. Say, sorry. We left off at Numbers 30:2. Okay. Let's get into it. Numbers chapter 30, verse 2. One second, man. It's been a minute since I part two. The actual reading of the ancient. Let me get acclimated real quick. All right. Verse 2. Wayadara, Masha, Al, Ra'asha, Hamatawa, Labunyam, Yasharala, Lamar, Za, Hadabar, Asherah, Tazawa, Yahweh. Verse 3. Ayash, Kaya, Yadar, Nadar, Lawahawa, Al, Hashabai, Shabai, La'asar, Asar, Al, Napashwa, La'ah, Lakal, Dabarwa, A'al, Hawatazah, Mapyawa, Ya'asha. Verse 4. Wa'asha, Ka'ah, Salaki, Kaya, Thadar, Badar, Salaki, Nadar, Lawa'asha, Wa'akaria, Akar, Babayath, Abayawa, Bana Ar Yahwa, Bara Yawa, Washamai, Abba Waha, Ath, Nadahar, Karha, Wakara, Asherah, Ashakar, Al, Napasha, Wakarya Rush, La'ah, Laha, Salaki, Abu Wahab, Wakwamwa, Al, Nada Yaha, Wa'al, Akwar, Asherah, Akwaha, Al, Nadashah, Nakwawam, verse 6, Wa'am, Hanawa, Abayaha, Ata, Bayawam, Shemaiwa, Al, Nadayaha, Wanakaryaha, Asherah, Akwaha, Al, Napasha, La'a, Yakwawam, Yawahaya, Yasalak, Laha, Kaya, Hanaya, Abayaha, Atha, verse 7, Wa'am, Hayawa, Tahaya, Layash, Wanadar, Yaha, Al, Yaha, I, Mabata, Shata Yaha, Shapa Yaha, Asherah, Akwaha, Isaha, Al, Napashwa, Napasha, Washamai, verse 8, Washamai, Ayashua, Bayawam, Washamaiwa, Wakwa, Waha, Kwarashwa, La'a, Laha, Wakwamwa, Nadar Yaha, Wa Asarwa, Asherah, Asarya, Al, not a shah. Yaquamwa. Yep, it's been a minute. So that being said in the English, chapter 30, verse 2. If a man, Salaki, Numbers, chapter 30, verse 2. If a man vow a vow unto the Lord, or swear an oath to bind his soul with a bond, he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceedeth out of his mouth. What's that speaking of? That's speaking of being an honorable man, man. If you say you're going to do something, get that job done, brothers and sisters. Get that job done. You made a vow before the Most High, just like every brother in here made a vow to be a priest and everything. We're bound by that. We're bound to be priests and men of prestige and honor in the name of the Most High when we go out and represent under command of General Yohana. You understand? Brothers and sisters of this ISUPK are bound by the words that they said to the Most High, that they would pick up these law, statutes, and commandments and go out and teach brothers and sisters how to repent, how to come back to the Most High, and how to be a changed man. You understand? And you have to keep your word on that. Because anything else you do, I mean, you just talking, brother. If there's no change in you, you get that oil poured on your head, that symbolizes an oath that you took, a promise to the Most High that you're going to be a man of the Lord. You understand? Verse 3, if a woman also vow a vow unto the Lord and bind herself by bond, being in her father's house in her youth, and her father hear her vow, and her bond wherewith the hath bound her soul, and her father shall hold his peace at her, then all her vows shall stand, and every bond wherewith she hath bound her soul shall stand. Women get this all. Women make promises to the Most High too. They made a vow to be in this truth too. They got it poured on their head. You understand? This is the house. This is the house of the fathers right here. They made a vow to be an honorable woman, not to go out and do the things that they probably used to do when they was out in the world, doing all kinds of ungodly things, no matter what's here and there. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, for every man and woman that makes a vow unto the Most High, you got to honor that, bro. You got to spend the rest of your life honoring that vow until it's fulfilled. Verse 5. But if her father disallow her in the day that he hear not any of her vows or of her bonds wherewith she hath bound her soul, shall stand, and the Lord shall forgive her, because her father disallowed her. He knew it was something that she couldn't get done, or that was too big for her. The commitment that she was making was too much. It's too great for her, so he didn't allow it. So the Lord will forgive her, but the ones that you do that you can't accomplish, you know what I mean? And one of the easiest is coming in here changing your dietary law, man. You know what I mean? Change what it is. Make a vow to do that, and then stick to it. Stick to not being a whore. Stick to not being a brother who prostitute his woman. Have her out here doing all kinds of wicked things because of his lust. You understand? Make that vow that you won't do that you won't be a monster to your nation of people, that you won't be out here selling witchcraft, which is drugs, to your people. Make sure you'll stand for everyone that the so-called oppressor goes out here and unalives just for his entertainment. You understand? That's something you can stand for. That's an oath you can make to be the best brother you can possibly be to your brother. and your sisters. Be the best sister you could possibly be to your brothers. Let's go ahead. And if she had at all a husband when she vowed or uttered out of her lips wherewith she bound her soul, and her husband heard it and held his peace at her in the day that he heard it, then her vows shall stand, and her bonds wherewith she bound her soul shall stand. But if her husband disallowed her on the day that he heard it, then he shall make her he shall make her vow which she vowed, and that which she uttered out of her lips, wherewith she bound her soul, of none effect, and the Lord shall forgive her. So we're going to go to verse 9. Wa'am, by a woman, Shammai, Ayashah, Yanayah, Ayatah, Wahabar, Af, Nadahah, Asherah, Al-Yahah, Wa'af, Maratah, Shapath Yahah, Asherah, Isahah, Al, Napashah, Wayahawa, Isalak, Lahah, verse 2. Wanadar, Alamanah, Wagarashah, Al, Akal, Salaki Kal, Asherah, Asahah, Al, Napashah, Yakwawam, Al-Yahah, verse 11. Wa'am, Bayath, Ayashah, Badahar, Al, Al-Sahah, Al-Sahah, Al, Napashah, Bashabai, verse 12. Wasamai, Ayashah, Wahakash, Laha, La'ah, Hanayash, Hanayah, Atah, Wakwamwa, Ka, Nadiyaha, Wakwa, Isar, Isharah, Isaha, Al, Napasha, Yakwawam, verse 13. Wa'an, Hapar, Yapar, Atham, Ayasha, Bayawam, Shamaiwa, Cal, Mayatazar, Mayatazah, Shapath Yaha, Lanador Yaha, Wala Ashar, Napasha, La'a, Yakwawam, Ayasha, Hakwama, Wayahawa, Yasalak, La'a, verse 14, Al, Nadar, Yaqual, Shaba'ith, Isar, La'anath, Napash, Ayasha, Ayasha, Yakwaya Manwa, Waya Asha, Yaparanwa, verse 15, Wa'ain, Hakwarash, Yakwarash, La'a, Ayasha, Mayawam, Al, Yawam, Wahakwayim, Ath, Al, Nadar Yaha, Al, Ath, Al, Ashayawa, Asherah, Al, Al Yaha, Hakwayim, Atham, Ayah, Hakwarash, Laha, Bayawam, with Myra, verse 9. But every word of a widow and of her that is divorced, wherewith they have bound their souls, shall stand against her. And if she vowed in her husband's house a bond, or sold by a bond with an oath, and her her husband heard it and held his peace at her and disallowed her not, then all her vows shall stand, and every bond wherewith she bound her soul shall stand. But if her husband hath utterly made them void on the day he heard them, then whatsoever proceed out of her lips concerning her vow or concerning a bond of her soul shall not stand. Her husband hath made them void, and the Lord shall forgive her. Every vow, verse 13, and every vow and every binding oath that afflict the soul, her husband may establish it, or her husband may make it void. But if her husband altogether hold his peace at her from day to day, then he established all her vows and all her bonds which are upon her. He confirmeth them, because he held his peace at her in the day that he heard them. Verse 15. But if he shall anyways make them void after that he hath heard them, then he shall bear her iniquity. So we're gonna get off into chapter 31. So what you see going on, this is kind of like as we go to 31. It's right here. That's 16. So this is reestablishing who's the head of the household right here, man. It's letting you know if a woman makes a promise, you know what I'm saying? Her father or her husband can veto that thing, right? That her promise or her vow. If they understand, it's just like your kids. If you see them doing something, and you know that what they're trying to do is too much for them, you can shut that down. You know what I mean? Don't make no promises you can't keep. Bottom line. And if your husband's sitting there, he hears you and he knows you. He knows the type of person you are. He knows what you can and can't complete when you say you're going to do it. Why? Because of studying you, because he sat there and he actually paid attention to you. He married you, so he should know you, right? So he should know what you're capable of doing and what you're not capable of doing. So he can veto anything that she says that he has he don't feel like she can honor when it comes to doing the work. So with that being said, we're gonna get off into 16. Verse 16. Wa'am hapar yapar athum aquaria aquarwa ya salaki shemaiwa wanashar ayapa ayapa. This thing got out of whack. Okay, so verse 1, chapter 31, verse 1. verse 1. While the bar, Yahweh, Al, Mashah, La'amar, verse 2. Nakam, Nakamath, Bunyam, Washarallah, Yasharallah, Salaki, Ma'ath, Hamadai, Yanyam, Akwar, Ta'asat, Al, Amayakah, verse 3. Wayadapar, Mashah, Al, Ha'aim, La'amar, Hakwal Tazawa, Ma'af, Kam, Nashim, Latazabad, Yawa, Al, Marayan, Latath, Lakwamath, Yahweh, Banadayan, Allah, Lamata, Allah, Lamata, Laqual, Matawath, Yasharala, Tashalakwa, Latazabar, verse 6. Hold on. Verse 5. Wayama Sarya, Mayada Sarwa, Maalapya, Yasharala, Allah, Lama'ai, Lamata, Shanyam, Aishara, Allah, Kwalatazaya, Tazabah, verse 6. Wahashalak, Atam, Mashah, Allah, Lamata, Latazabah, Atam, Ya'af, Saksalaki, Wa'af, Payamaka, Ban, Al-Azhar, Hakahan, Latazabah, Wa'alia, Hakwadash, Wakatazah, Tazar, Yath, Wath, Salakia. Hatara'ah. One second, Bayadah, Hay, Watazah, Ba'ah, Watazah, Ba'yah, Wa, Al, Marayan, Kashara, Tazawa, Yahweh, Ath, Masha'ah, Wayahara. Yeah, one second, Pasha, Salaki, Pawa. Cal, Zakar, Salaki. All right. About to wrap this up. Salaki. So with that being said, yeah, we left off at verse 16. These are the statutes which the Lord commanded Moses between a man and his wife, between a father and his daughter, being yet in her youth in her father's house. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, avenge the children of Israel of the Midianites, afterwards shalt thou be gathered unto thy people. And Moses spake unto the people, saying, arm some of yourselves unto the war, and let them go against the Midianites. And the average of the Lord and avenge the Lord of Midian. Of every tribe 1,000 throughout all the tribes of Israel shall ye send to the war. So thou shalt be delivered out of the thousands of Israel, 1,000 of every tribe, 12,000 armed for war. And Moses sent them to the war, and thousands of every tribe, them and the Phinehas, the son of Eleazar the priest, to the war, with the holy instrument and the trumpets to blow in his hand. And they warred against the Midianites, as the Lord commanded Moses, and they slew all the males. And once again, we're getting into something that's showing you when the Most High is with you, man. Whoo, you can come up against these masses, man. You turn away from the sin and whatnot you got going on. and put the Most High in your life, man, you're going to be diligent, you will prosper, and you're going to succeed in the things that you do that's done in his name.
Right.
The oath you make with him, the promise that you give your life to him, he's going to show you amazing things that you thought could never happen. Your enemies are going to fall by the wayside. They won't have any might in their hands when it comes to dealing with you. They're going to see what the term holy means, to be separate from anything that they ever could dream of or imagine. You understand? When you got that, what you call that Bruce Leroy glow around you. It's kind of like that invisible glow that you got on when they see your actions, and they see the things that you came from, the person that you was and the person that you is, by the oath that you made to the Most High, by the promise that you made that binds you to his word. You understand? So with that being said, I'm going to end today's class. The water for tuning in. Hey, stand firm in the word of the Most High, in this truth, under command of Jim Yohana. Brothers and sisters, sharpen your swords. Don't drop them.
Come on.
You understand? Do not drop them. Every day might not be a good day, but damn it, every day is an amazing day to be a brother and a sister in this truth.
Right.
So with that being said, you got health issues, don't drop the sword. It's like every day is Hebrew Academy. So don't quit. You understand? You can. You still be the brother. You still be the sister in the name of the Most High, but hey, that's what's up. Shalom, Israel.